All right, I want to welcome you to this video. We're going to be talking about rinse and repeat. Once you have your list of targeted subscribers started, it becomes a simple rinse and repeat operation. And we're just going to kind of go over here really quickly what we've been covering. And after that, it's just time to start focusing on a few of these things that we've been talking about and then perfecting them and then start rinsing and repeating the operation. The number one secret to on-demand cash is distribution, and that's the main ingredient to the secret of on-demand cash. What makes a company the best in its industry? Why is Google so much better than Yahoo? Why is YouTube the most used video sharing site? And why is Skype the mainstream VoIP service online? They all share one key characteristic, and that is distribution, the distribution or distribution channels. Email marketing is probably the most cost-effective distribution channel to show our offer to our hungry buyers. And that's why this is one of the most important things that you can be doing in your business is email marketing. And of course, to be able to market with email marketing as your distribution center, you've got to have a targeted email list. And that's why we've been focusing on this course on list building. Email is very inexpensive to send, unlike other advertising media, so the profit margins are nothing short of awesome. When you stop and figure that on average, if you really manage your list well, each subscriber on your list should be worth $1 every single month. That, if you start thinking about that, even 50 people on your list, you should be bringing in at least $50 a month. That goes a long way to start paying for things, like your autoresponders that you can get to grow with your business as you go. If you were to get something like Aweber or GetResponse, some of these autoresponder services that grow with you as you go, you start out, basically $9, $10 and you go on up from there. But as you grow that list, each time you add more people to that list, the numbers, go up, the more money that starts coming in. It's very inexpensive to really send emails through email marketing. The email marketing main focus, first of all, is to grow your list. And that's what we were just talking about. The money is in the list, and when I say that, I mean the money is in with the capital letters IN in that list. It's not just having a list; it's in that list of subscribers that you have, a well-targeted group of people that all have something in common. Maintain good relationships. You need to focus on maintaining good relationships with that list. Always over deliver value. This is one of the biggest things that you have to figure on is on doing with your list if you really want to see it succeed is over delivering value from the very moment that the person meets you to the time that they unsubscribe from your list. If that's what happens, you need to do your very best to deliver value to that person, the value that they expect, and then you go above and beyond, and that's what we're calling over delivering value. Get your message out. You need to focus on getting it out, not only to your own list, but to other people's list as well. We've talked about solo ads and ad swaps. Getting that, getting your message out to not only your list, but other people's lists that have well-targeted lists in your niche as well. And then probably one of the biggest things that you can do is focus on the follow-up. The follow-up email series and following up with your subscribers, following up with your buyers is huge. This is what's going to really help you develop a good list of quality buyers and get them to buy from you over and over and over again. We want to be list building today for a stronger tomorrow. A strong, responsive mailing list is very powerful. It is a resource that you can tap into anytime whenever you wish to generate additional activity or revenue for your business. Send out an email to hundreds, thousands, even hundreds of thousands of people who all have one thing in common and offering offer them something that's relevant to their interest, and you can make money. Now, as you build your own list of subscribers, you should expect to start seeing your income increase steadily with every new subscriber. That's why I stress that the single most important thing you can do is to build your list, get more subscribers. You have control over them. No longer are they showing up to your website and leaving whenever they want. Once you get them on your list, you now have control to when and how you send that message out to them through your emails. I know it sounds a lot simpler than it really is putting this into practice. A lot of people have been trying to build their list and it just seems like it's very hard. But it's not that difficult if you really start focusing on the things that we've been teaching. Do some investigating. Investigate the products and services the experts recommend, but don't stop there. You need to do some investigating on the products and services that are out there. You need to find out what your competition is offering so you know what you should be offering. You need to look for the holes that they're missing that you can fill, a way for you to be able to make yourself unique and stand out above the crowd, because you have to have that differentiation in what makes you different than everybody else out there. If not, why are they going to stop following somebody else to follow you? Their email boxes are already filled with sometimes hundreds of emails each and every day. Why is it that they need to make room for you? You've got to let them see that. So you've got to do the investigating. You got to do the research on your competition, do a competitive analysis, and find out what you can do to make yourself different than the competition. But then don't stop. Take special care to study when they send the emails out. So when you get on somebody's list, I don't want you to look at being on everybody's list as them just filling up your emails with all these emails. I mean, if it gets to that point, choose some that you feel are really, really good. Some that are really good at delivering the emails that you see as giving you value, and start following them. Study when they send their emails out. Study the way they send their emails. Look at the subject lines. Look at the ways they write. See what's involved in that email. And look at the simple style of email that they send. It's basically a pretty simple style of email that most marketers send out. So don't just look at these as a bunch of emails flooding your inbox. Use them to your advantage. Look at them as a learning tool, and take special care and study them. While we're there on that last slide here, it's all part of a system. And most list owners are continually testing things out, as well as you should be doing once you get started with your own list. You need to be consistently tweaking things and making your emails more effective over time. So you can benefit from what you will discover indirectly from watching what the experts are doing. So pay close attention and take notes. The little bit of research that you do into how the experts communicate their community of subscribers could well be worth a small fortune to you. All right, one of the things that we've been focusing on is building your list. Get more subscribers, and that's what your focus needs to be on, building that list and getting more subscribers. The more people you can send emails to that are interested in what you have to offer, the more money that you can make. List building is one of the most important aspects of every online business. Why? Because having a mailing list enables you to communicate with your customers whenever you want, and it enables you to build trust and credibility based on the quality of information that you're providing to them. One of the biggest things that you need to do is to build your own credibility, to build trust in the marketplace. You need to be that person that people can turn to deliver the information that they're seeking, and they are going to know that it's high quality information. You need to build up a good, solid reputation in your marketplace, and and it really goes a long way by having your own list that you can start mailing out to, and getting that list to know you, like you, and trust you, like we've been talking about. The basic list building process, I want to go over this one more time with you. Basically, you need to research your target market. You need to know who your marketing to, who you're going to be targeting. That you need to find a good solid niche of a good targeted audience that's ready to pull out their credit card. They've got money, they're ready to pay you for the information that you've got. You need to know their problems. You need to know their wants, their needs, their competition. You need to research everything that there is about this market, as well as, your competition and what they're doing. You need to learn to speak the language that your market is speaking. You need to basically become that person that's in the market. In your story that you have, if if you do this right, it's going to relate to who this market is. You're going to know those the problems that they're facing. You're going to know how to solve them because you're the one that's already lived this. You're the one that has the answers for them now. So you're going to be able to connect that with them with the stories that you're going to be able to tell about yourself. That goes a long way for reaching your target marketing, giving them somebody that they can relate to and connect to. Make sure that you create a well-positioned, irresistible offer. It needs to be positioned very well in the mind of your target market, of that visitor that shows up to your website. They need to know without a shadow of a doubt that that is something that they need. It needs to fit into their mind right now. It's too hard to go about changing somebody's mind when they show up to your website. If they don't feel that it's something that they need, it's going to be very hard to change their mind. So make sure that it's a well positioned, and it has to be an irresistible offer. And a well positioned offer is going to be irresistible. Offer must solve the problems of the target market and have a unique selling proposition like we talked about. If that's what makes you different than the competition, why they should buy from you instead of waiting for the competition. Give your irresistible offer away. We've talked about this, about just taking that irresistible offer and giving it away. And yes, that free offer needs to be irresistible. It needs to be of high quality, high value. Start out from the very beginning delivering high quality, and you're going to go a long ways. In exchange, you're going to get the contact email or their opt-in. This is something that's very valuable. We just talked about this. On average, each person you get on your list, if you just do a pretty good job, is going to be worth at least $1 per month. And there's other people that can get, $3, $4, $5 a month per their list when they really learn how to do it right. The next step is to make sure that you focus on your follow-up series and building relationships and pre-selling. Your follow-up series, when somebody gets on your list with your free offer, you're going to have your follow-up series because you need to have a back-end market in place. It's the what comes next. Your follow-up message is going to build relationships, but it's also going to be working as your pre-selling agent. It's going to be like your salesperson that's on autopilot that is selling the next offer that comes along, that's selling that next what comes next. A lot of times you can have a special offer that follows that free offer on from your squeeze page, and a lot of times they won't buy that right now. They're going to get on your squeeze page. They want to build that relationship, find out a little bit about you to build that trust up. And that follow-up message is going to do that. And you can also pre-sell that offer. So you have another opportunity to put that offer plus what follows that. Step 5 is just loyal following of paying customers. Continue to build those relations. Continue to focus on the follow-up series and turn those that free list into good paying customers. Now, we talked about many different methods of growing your list, getting traffic there and getting people to subscribe. These were probably some of my favorites. Ad swaps and solo ads, doing giveaway events, JV products and launches. We've discussed that as probably the #1 way. If you can learn how to do a product launch right and getting joint venture partners that have good targeted lists to send out for your offer, that's probably one of the best ways that you can grow your list of good quality buyers. We've talked about online forums, going in and basically just giving value once you get in there and then leaving your signature file. Blogging, this is an amazing way to really build up your credibility and also focus on your list building. the exit pop-up strategy to make sure that you're grabbing somebody that tries to leave your website. Articles and videos, getting them out there to drive traffic. They're great traffic generations, and you have your link that leads to your squeeze page. Viral reports are probably one of my favorites as well. This is, doing a good solid report showing your audience that you know what you're talking about. You're the expert, and in there, wherever it's appropriate, you're leaving a link that's leading back to your squeeze page to get another offer. And also safe list. There's many other methods out there. You can use Facebook advertising. There's Twitter. You can do all sorts of things. There's press releases that you can write that have links back to your squeeze pages as well. Just go out there. There's paid advertising if you wanted to get into pay-per-click and cost per action and cost per view and those type of things. We tried to focus on more of the free things that you can be doing, but there are many methods. What you need to do is just start picking a couple of these and really focus on them and find out which ones that fit you the best and that you can really step up to the plate and make work for you. Think freemium. One of the most powerful and simple ways is to give away a free offer in exchange for the visitor's email and name via a squeeze page. We talked about the squeeze page. We talked about that free offer, and the thing that you need to focus on is freemium, premium value. Your free gift is your doorway to your marketing funnel. It's the key to building your list, establishing your expertise, building relationships, pre-selling, and enhancing your brand. The free gift is your doorway to your marketing funnel, but you must start from the very beginning when you start list building, thinking that word freemium in your mind, giving it away, but making sure that it is of highest value. And then we turn them into buyers. We just kind of talked about this a little bit. I want to just go over these three one more time because they're very important. Once you get them on your list, you build trust, get them to know you, like you, and trust you, and build credibility. You become the go-to expert in their eyes. At every opportunity, you over-deliver, and you over-deliver more than the customer ever could expect. And then you follow up immediately, persistently, and consistently, and persuasively, and you automate this with your autoresponder. And we talked about GetResponse or Aweber as probably one of the best choices, and probably the one that I prefer most is Aweber. But check those both out and see which one fits you the best. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. Decide the methods that you want to use and get started. Don't get sidetracked with too many methods all at once. You don't have to do all 9, 10 of them that we discussed, throughout this course. Just focus on a few at a time. Start building your list with a couple of these methods. Maybe you're going to start out with blogging or free reports. Maybe you don't want to get into using joint venture partners yet. You just want to get started with something, and maybe blogging and delivering content is one of the ways that you're going to go. But once you figure out what you want to do, you just adjust it. If it's not working just right, adjust it. And then you perfect it until you get it to work. And once you get it to work, then you rinse and repeat. Once you have your list of targeted subscribers started, it becomes a simple rinse and repeat operation. You go back and you just start doing that again. So if you've put one free report out, you put another free report out. If you got one blog started, maybe you start up another blog, or you just continue to add to that blog each time. If you've done one product launch, you go out and you'd start up and do another product launch, or you go out and get more joint venture partners to get that product that you have. So maybe you have an evergreen product, which means that it's always there on the market. It doesn't basically get old, and you can get other joint venture partners to promote it later at another time. But what you need to think about is being consistent. Don't stop, don't give up, continue on. If something doesn't work for you, if one of the methods is just not working for you, stop it and try something different until you find it where you really fit and what really makes you, shine in this marketplace. I want to thank you for following along with this training. Build your list, get more subscribers. The more people you can send emails to that are interested in what you have to offer, the more money you can make. List building is one of the most important aspects for every online business. The money is in the list. Now it's time for you to get out there and take action. I want to thank you very much.